Welcome back to another episode of Talk with Tay podcast, man. In today's episode, I really want to talk about something that I've been coming to terms with when it comes to grief, right? I used to say years ago, when my mother passed away, that she took a part of me, right? I used to always say she took a part of me, a part of me died, man. But really, it wasn't really a part of me, it was all of me. Like I died a long time ago. And I died a long time ago. And I've been trying to find these pieces, right? I used to say I lost myself. I'm losing myself. It was nothing to lose there. I was already gone, man. And I was searching, right? I was like, man, I couldn't understand a pain that deep, losing my mom. I couldn't understand that shit. So for the last few years, I thought that I would get back to me, right? I would be the same person. But that was never going to happen for me. And I'm just now realizing that, right now. That was never going to happen because I died, I died a long time ago. I used to say my mother took a part of me when she left this earth, or that I lost myself, or I'm losing myself, right, in real time. But little did I know that person was never coming back. I was born again. And that shit is so hurtful, bro. And I've been walking around with this numbness, this emptiness, this empty soul, and not knowing how to explain it, because I'm thinking that I'm supposed to get back to a certain place, get back to a certain version of me, right? A lot of people didn't understand who I was anymore, right? I didn't like the same things. The hobbies changed. My interests changed. Conversations changed within me. And that created a lot of distance, with people, because they didn't understand that. They didn't understand this person. Who is this person, right? And I'm thinking it's just a phase, that maybe it'll just blow over. Or maybe I was just hurting so bad that I just needed to go through it. Everything that happened to me, I needed to go through for sure. But now I realize that, I died inside. So all that time I spent wondering if certain things would come back about me, it was never coming back. People used to ask me, what's some things you like to do before your mother passed? What were some things that made you happy? And I would never be able to say nothing. I would literally just be there, just like looking like, damn, I really don't know. I loved baseball, for a very long time, right? Baseball got me out the hood. It was an escape for me. For a very long time, I enjoyed it. I still enjoy the game. I still enjoy the game a lot. It would always be a part of me. But I realized that I didn't like baseball after my mom died, but I was just forcing myself to play, because opportunity was there. And I felt like that's what I was supposed to do. But I stopped liking it as soon as my mother died. I hated it. But I thought that was the one thing that, okay, if I keep playing that maybe people will understand that I'm still here. I'm just going through it. But nah, bro, I was just forcing myself to play when I really didn't want to play. And I held on to that for a while. I was playing for the wrong reasons, right? I didn't have, my motivation was gone. And people love to say, use your mom as your motivation, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. I was waiting for her to see me do other things, right? And grief unlocked all of those things for me for the future about what I really wanted to do in life. And I'm doing them now, right? I was trying to figure out, who I was. I kept getting confused throughout this journey early on because people was all in my ear, man, telling me like you're not the same. Like why you don't I'm used to this version of you. Like you don't act the same no more. You don't talk the same. You don't laugh the same. Like and I could never put it into words, right? All I knew is that I was hurt. My mother's death crushed me. So I was just walking around just feeling lonely all the time. I still walk around and feel lonely every single day, no matter what. I could be in a room with like 100 people, bro, and it'll only feel like me. I'll feel like I'm the only person in that room, like real shit. And I don't know what I don't even know what type of timeline this is. I don't rush anything anymore, but fucking glasses, bro. My bad. These glasses, they got the metal boys now. Glasses going off. But yeah, man, I spent a lot of time alone wondering like, damn, man, like why everybody keep telling me I need, nobody understood that I was a new person, right? They wanted this old person, they wanted this old version of me to come back so bad, but I couldn't. It was never coming back. I outgrew everything around me, right? Grief showed me that I needed to separate myself a long time ago, right? But when it happened, it did it for me. I didn't have to do anything, right? I didn't have to, hang around people that really didn't fuck with me, right? I didn't have to keep saying yes to everything or just trying to be there for people when I wasn't there for myself. When grief happened to me, all of that shit went out the window. And that's when people got mad at me. Nobody ever had a problem with me before I was grieving. I think about that. I think about that a lot because it's so interesting how everybody accepted me. It was nothing I could do wrong to certain people, right? I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, right? But everybody fucked with me. Everybody loved me. Now, there's still some love out there. People still fuck with me in certain ways, you know what I mean? But when I started grieving, bro, like, that love was there. None of that love was there. When I started grieving, people started having a problem with me, right? Again, because I said that once my mother died, that version of me died. So that was the version of me trying to help people, right? People call me, I'm answering. You know what I mean? Like I'm there no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I was that type of nigga. Like, and I still am in certain ways. Like, cause I love to help people, but I realized that I just couldn't. I wasn't helping myself. And God had to make me go through that to understand, right? Grief had to happen to me for me to understand, like, you was never supposed to be doing that in the first place. They never fucked with you. They never loved you like that in the first place. And I'm so glad now because now I get to really sit with all of that, with all of the pain, all of the damage, all of the times I never said no to people. I never had boundaries or anything like that. And realize that it's okay. It's really okay. So I'm glad. I'm just glad. I'm glad it happened to me, bro, because I understand that I died. I really died. I had to be reborn again in order for me to get where I'm going now. And the people that was there with me, the people that was along, the journey of my life, they weren't meant to be here. They were just there. You know what I mean? And I took that very hard, bro. I took that very hard. Cause you love people from afar, and now it's like I don't even know if I have the same love for people anymore. I love everybody from a distance now. I don't answer my phone at all, pretty much at all, because it disturbs me when I continue, to allow certain shit, and I understand that I was just allowing everything myself. I was allowing everybody's problems into my life, right? Thinking I can save everybody, thinking I can be the problem solver to everybody's problems, but I was still doing that while trying to grieve, bro. Not even realizing that motherfuckers still not showing up for me, right? Everybody was so used to me being strong. Everybody so used to me overcoming things, dealing with adversity, day in and out, going through everything. So they know they could depend on me, right? But that's some bullshit, bro. I don't want people to depend on me no more. I've been stopped wanting that. So I'm glad that I don't have. I'm glad that grief taught me that. You have to go through certain things. You have to go through this lonely ass phase of grief because, again, you realize how much you abandoned yourself first. But because people abandon you during this time, right? It hurts so bad. You like, how could you do that? But you did it to yourself first before grief happened. Before my mom died, I did it to myself. I never put myself first. And as soon as I put myself first, that's when people got a problem with me, So it's eye opening, man. It's eye opening as fuck to me because, especially now, like as a man, it's so much I want to talk. It's so much I be needing to get off, man. I be feeling like this shit still make me feel low, bro, every single day. Even like it's such a hard thing to explain. Grief is such a numb feeling, a lonely ass feeling. You could be doing so good in life, but that part just still weighs on you, and you still trying to figure out how do I be happy like about majority of things in my life. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. I'm blessed, but how do I be happy about this shit? And I'm not saying that in just like a negative way or anything like that, because I understand that it's hard for people to be around a grieving person. Do I care? No, not really. All I know is that I know for a fact that ain't nobody close to me yet, that's like really close to me yet, had to really grieve, I would say. I've had people that have lost very significant people to them, but I haven't had anybody close to me like lose parents or anything like that, right? And you just never know what the whole purpose of this happening to you is for. I never thought that losing my mom would force me into my true purpose, my true desires in life. I thought playing baseball and just working in corporate was cool. It was good. Like I'm not saying it wasn't a good experience for me, but I thought that was like, yeah, I'm gonna just be that guy. I'm gonna just play baseball for a while, work in corporate, make decent money, whatever, and make good money, whatever the fuck it is. I just thought it was all about, things like that, but I didn't enjoy those things. I never enjoyed that shit. I was putting up this image because I was still holding on, hoping that I would find that person again, that person I was. And that's a phase that people go through. You know, you wonder why certain things not funny to you no more, right? You wonder why you don't like certain activities. You don't like going certain places, right? You trying to figure out like, damn, I used to love this. I used to love doing this. It could be something, it could be something very small, bro. And then you start realizing like, damn, what's wrong with me? But that's really you hiding from yourself, hiding from the things that you really want to do in life. And I no longer hide from it. Nah, I accept it, right? I enjoyed everything that I've accomplished in life. I'm definitely grateful for, getting an education. That's, I would never feel any type of way about that because that was me and my mom's dream for real. When I was a little boy, I used to, just be running around the hood, running around the projects, just like telling people I would go to college. And a lot of people would laugh, man. Like, a lot of people was laughing at me because I was a bad kid, right? They didn't understand that that's something that I truly dreamed of doing. And my mom never made me feel like I couldn't go and do that. She never made me feel that way. Everybody else did though. And that's, like I said, I would never take that for granted. I did that. That was for us, that was truly for us. That was something we did together. She was the only one that would call me when I'd be hungry as fuck in college. She didn't have money, but she was just there. You know what I mean? Sometimes she couldn't, sometimes I couldn't eat if I didn't have enough food. You know what I mean? Like I went through that shit for years, bro. But she was the only one that could get me out of that can change the energy of how I was feeling at the time. She could just talk to me. And she always told me it'll be okay. And I was like, Ma, this shit ain't looking good. Like, I don't think it's gonna be okay, Ma. Like, she repeated that shit every time she talked to me though. Stomach is literally touching my back, bro. No clothes, barely had any clothes, anything. You know what I mean? It was just stuff like that. It just made me, that's why I miss her so much, because she allowed me to really believe in myself and see that things would be better, no matter how circumstances look. That's why now I don't trip about nothing, bro. Like, I don't trip about anything because she was always right about that. She said you are gonna be okay. It's gonna get better. She encouraged me. That's why I stayed in school. You know how many times I wanted to quit? How many times I just wanted to come home and just be in the hood and just be doing the same shit that everybody else doing? She wouldn't allow me though. That's why I miss that. Like, I miss that so much, having a person like that in your corner. That's, you can't, yeah, man, you can't pay for nothing like that. And people don't understand how much of a void that is. Like, just knowing that you will never get that again. That's never coming back. That voice, those conversations, just random phone calls, random text messages, voicemails. You missed a call. You know you can call them back, right? Can't do that now. Won't ever be able to do it. Nobody will ever understand how much that'll change about how you feel, how you exist, how you walk around daily. Someone like that leaving your life for good. You'll never understand until it happened to you, man. That's why I say, bro, just if you know somebody that's grieving, bro, you You really gotta love a person to go through grief with them, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. You gotta love the fuck out of somebody in order to watch them go go through grief. Most people ain't built for it. You gotta love them, bro. Like you gotta love them. Hopefully one day I meet somebody that loves me enough to just accept this part of me. But you know, it's very rare. It's a very rare thing to that'll come into your life. Very rare. People can still love you. You know, I know a lot of people still love me, but they don't love me enough to deal with this, to deal with me figuring out this new person. They don't love me enough to be with me in a store or just sitting at home and I get triggered by a fucking smell and I shed a few tears, or a song, or I see a piece of candy that my mom used to like. That sets you back so far in that moment that it's all like you just need to feel it though. That's the only thing about it. You just need to feel that. I wasn't able to feel those things early on, and that's why I felt so bad for grieving. I'm just like, man, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm just too fucked up. I'll never be okay, man. But nah. People just didn't love me enough to watch me go through that. And that's okay. I'm cool with that. Because I understand that it's too much for people. It's too much for them. So if anybody ever left, fuck them. But at the same time, just understand that they're just not strong enough to see you like that. So it ain't no problem for real when you really understand it. But just, make sure they stay away, That's all I needed. Nowadays, I catch myself grieving in real time, I get triggered a lot. And now when I used to try to fight through it or distract myself like real quick or be like, nah, nigga, like, don't cry. Don't feel that. Nah, let it go. Focus. But nah, nigga, now I don't give a fuck where I'm at. If I feel that shit, I'ma feel it. If I gotta cry, I'ma cry, nigga. I may have to step away. I may have, you know what I mean? But I'ma feel that shit, bro. Nah, because you only gotta feel it for a little minute. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's a few hours, sometimes it's, you know what I mean? But it's not a bad thing. So you got anybody around you that's making you feel like that's bad, bro, get their ass, remove them. Because they going to make you feel worse. Each time. As time go on, they going to make you feel like a piece of shit. And you don't need that while you grieving. You don't need to feel like that. You don't need to feel like you're wrong for crying about somebody that you loved. You feel me? Like, you don't need that shit, bro. You don't need that. I remember the first time I had, I battled with depression for a very long time since a kid, right? Because I just didn't understand a lot of things. I didn't know it was depression, but now I do. I didn't understand my environments, bro. Like I didn't understand watching my mother suffer and she's angry at us. You know what I mean? I didn't understand that, and that made me sad as fuck without even knowing. Like why mama so mad? She don't got enough money to go get some food, whatever, the food stamps. I remember we used to go to the store and she would literally watch the total as she putting the things into the as they're scanning the food and the items and shit, bro. And she used to put things in order in the cart, bro, and you couldn't. And if you touched that cart, your ass, she was tearing your ass up, because she had in her mind, she knew how much she had to spend and she knew how much was yeah, she knew the budget. So, and sometimes you may go over that budget, or you may get close, or you may, and like I would probably say like 80% of the time she was always right. She always knew how much, to spend and get. But those times that she couldn't extend and get the, those extra items, or she had to put things back, she would make me go and take certain things back. And the look on her face, man, is just so like shameful, bro. Like, man, like I just think about that shit. Like that shit it was hard, bro. Like being like a parent, like a struggling parent, bro. Like I don't. Little does she know though, like I appreciated everything though, bro. I never cared about that shit, but that it weighed on her so much that she had no choice but to be angry. That's what she knew. She was angry at herself, you know? And I just want her to know that shit. It's okay, mom. Like it's okay. I never cared that you couldn't do everything. You still made a way no matter what. You feel me? So that should be like that shit still bother me too, bro. Like shit like that, man. And I remember the first time that, like I said, I was depressed as a kid, and I had no tissue here. Right beside. I remember the first time that, like I said, I dealt with depression as a kid, but I didn't really know it at the time. When I was 13, that's when I first started to realize that I had thoughts of not living, not wanting to be here. And like I said, I didn't understand it. I got tired of seeing my mom struggle. I got tired of living in the hood. Like I didn't understand none of that shit. Like I got tired of struggling, watching her struggle. Like I got tired of that. That's exactly why I started to get depressed as a young child. Like this shit is, and I knew I didn't want to take the same route as everybody else around me. I never wanted to be in the streets, bro. Like I grew up in the streets. I done seen everything that come with it. But with me, the type of person I was, man, I see people doing that for a long time, bro, and that's just not a life that I ever desired to live. Like I knew I was just too cool for that shit. I'm gonna be honest with you, and that's just something I always knew, right? So I was just tired. Like it was so easy for me to. It was so easy to get in the streets, get active, and get money, whatever it was, right? But I didn't want to do that. And I remember that. I remember the first time, like I said, I thought about not living. Not wanting to be here, wanting to take my life. For real, I was 13. And I never forget, man. I thought about it. I used to walk to school every morning. I walked to school my whole life, but I used to walk to school. And I used to have to cross this main road to get across the street to my school. And every morning it was just like it was a semi truck that used to like every time, the same time I walked to school, the same time I hit that light, that same semi truck was crossing, bro. And I got to the point where I was like, I didn't want to live. And I told myself one day that I was just gonna jump in front of the truck. And one day, like I said, I never said nothing to nobody. And one morning, I was walking. I had my mind made up, that I was going to do it. I was just going to jump in front of the truck and just let it hit me. And I stepped out in front, man, and then something just pulled me back, bro. This was in the wintertime too. It was cold as fuck. It was snow. Soon as I saw it coming, I stepped I stepped hard in the middle of in the street, coming off the sidewalk. I closed my eyes and then something just pulled me back, bro. I don't know what it was to this day. And I just sat there on the ground, had my book bag on. I'm just sitting on my ass, just crying. And I didn't go to school that day. I just went and skipped. I was so fucked up about that, man. But when I got home, I felt like I was going to get in trouble if I told anybody that. And I felt like I would get in trouble with my mom too if I told her, but I told her. I just started crying. I was like, Mom, I want to kill myself. That's what I said to her. And she was like, what? What you mean why would you want to do that? And I was like, Mom, I don't want to live no more. I'm tired. I don't feel love. I'm tired of watching this. I'm tired of everything that's going on. I don't want to watch it. And I'm just crying. And she just came over and hugged me. She sat there with me and hugged me. Kissed me on my cheek and kissed me on my forehead. She told me, I don't ever want you to feel like that again. She said, don't ever say that. Don't ever feel like that. She told everybody in the family and stuff like that, right? And nobody really had nothing to say about it. But after that, I noticed that she started to check on me more. She cared. She cared, bro. That's all I needed. That's all I needed at the time. Just to feel seen. And I know she was under so much pressure as a mother, as a struggling mother. It probably got away from her, and she probably didn't notice things. She notice how quiet I was, how I was changing in certain ways, right? And I don't resent her for that at all. But the fact that she made a change and started to check on her son more, what more can you ask for? That meant everything to me, because when nobody said nothing, when she told everybody, she wanted everybody else to care like she did. But she was the only one that cared for real. Nobody ever asked me about it. To this day, nobody asks about it. And after that, that's what I'm saying. That's what kept me going, right? And then when she left, it was just like, damn, bro. I know I ain't gonna have nobody to care about me for real. So, nigga, it is what it is. I know I'm not gonna have nobody to care like this at all. My pops didn't check on me. My brothers didn't check on me. My sisters didn't check on me. My auntie, nobody, bro. Nobody said a thing about that shit. It was just a joke. And that's the problem right there. How the fuck am I 13 years old thinking about killing myself, my nigga? You feel me? What the fuck? That's not right, bro. So that's why I don't be having shit to say. I don't be having nothing to say to nobody, bro. I don't care what y'all think of this. I don't care, bro. And that's why I don't talk to people no more. That's why I miss my mom so much, because that right there, you can't get that again. And I still have, I've had my moments where I've thought about not living. Still, I'm gonna be honest with you. I still go through that. I don't have, I know I won't do it, but I still think about it. And this is something that I have to continue to grow and work through. You know what I mean? It's hard when you can't open up, man, when you can't talk in private, It's hard. And that's cool. Like, I don't give a fuck. Because I know I'm good. I know I got God. I know I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? I know my faith is through the roof. So that's all that matters to me at this point. I no longer have expectations of certain things in life. So it makes me feel better knowing that I can, that I'm getting better no matter, even if it doesn't look like it. I know what I'm doing. So, yeah, man, that's, grief is an everyday learning curve. Constantly learning something every day about how it makes you feel about yourself. It's every day you gotta learn and adjust. And it's hard. It's gonna get lonely. Real lonely. I'm talking about quiet, like quiet. And I'm glad that this is happening to me because now I'm able to do things in life that I've always wanted to do. And it's good. It's good. I get on here, I talk. I just speak my mind for real, bro. I don't answer to nobody, so I don't really care how this looks no more, It's for a bigger purpose. People understand me. People that's watching this, you understand you understand everything that I feel. It's helping. It's helping us. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I'm out for the day, man. Got it out. I'm good. I'm good for the day. I'm just about to go sit. Yeah. Appreciate y'all for tuning in always, man. I appreciate y'all for watching everything and supporting me as always. Just want to say announcement. I do have some things coming soon. So, just keep supporting me and then keep, relating to me, keep conversing with me, engaging everything, man. I appreciate y'all for being willing to share y'all experiences because of me. That means a lot more than y'all could ever imagine, man. That just me finding the smallest strength that I have allows y'all to have some strength to just talk about things that you probably wouldn't talk about. So, it's all love.